This video is sponsored by me. My official merch store is now online. This is a great way to support the channel and also get an awesome shirt, hoodie, mug, or a pair of socks. Link in the description. What's up, guys? So sorry for not uploading for like 3 weeks. The holidays were absolutely insane for me. I did the Steven Crowder Christmas special. Well, for safety's sake. I did a fan meetup in Virginia. And the reason I was in Virginia for Christmas was meeting Joey's family for the holidays. They were all really great and showed me how to shoot guns.
Dump it!
Pump a cup.
But you guys know if I'm ever gone for too long, I'm clearly coming back with something good. So, in a few days, Ben Shapiro will be on the channel. We're going to talk about, well, I won't spoil it. Stay tuned. But the topic of today's video is one that's very taboo in the trans community for a number of reasons, and that is detransitioning. This is something that trans people never want to talk about, I guess because they want to maintain this idea that every single person who thinks they're trans just is. I think it makes them seem more valid and real in their own mind. Detransitioning is basically just what it sounds like. It's when you transition, you make bodily changes through surgeries or hormones, and then you attempt to reverse it because you realize you're not really trans. I think another reason why people never want to talk about this is because they like to maintain their position that children should be able to transition, because if you concede that an adult can make a mistake and think they're trans when they're not, clearly a child can. Kind of a no-brainer. So here's a story of a 12-year-old boy who underwent hormone therapy and then just 2 years later realized he made a huge mistake and he didn't actually want to be a girl. He's now attempting to reverse the effects of hormone therapy and detransition, but he's dealing with breast growth, and obviously he halted his puberty, which is undoubtedly going to have effects on his development. There are some YouTubers as well who have taken to the internet to tell their stories.
I first started dressing as a girl when I was very young. I was 5 or 6. I learned, the person that I am, regardless of my gender, I'm okay with. I never have been able to say that I feel like I was born in the wrong body. Like, I never looked at my body and thought that it was wrong.
I believe I became very overwhelmed and tired with time and time again having to try and prove myself for people. It's very easy when you're in a very set up environment.
At this point in my life, I was going on a holiday, staying with friends. It was very easy to do what I was doing. It was the summertime and we had no commitments in life.
After the experiences I've had, I feel much more at ease with myself and I'm a lot more comfortable to accept me.
I was pretty, and I think that it was, it was fun and it was cute for the time. Oh, I knew I wanted to be famous. That was one thing.
Now I want you to notice what all of these YouTubers seem to have in common. They're all fairly effeminate, flamboyant males, probably gay males. This is something that I see in a lot of detransitioners, naturally feminine men who mistake their femininity for needing to live as a woman, and naturally masculine women for mistaking their masculinity for needing to live as a man. What also concerns me is this seems to be the case with a lot of parents with trans kids. People who are so willing to slap the transgender label on a feminine, flamboyant little boy or a tom girl simply because they're expressing, gender rebellious behavior. Because their son likes Barbies and the color pink, or because their daughter likes trucks and roughhousing with boys. Being naturally feminine does not mean you need to transition. Being naturally masculine does not mean you need to transition. To do that is such a huge leap. Take it from me. It's a big deal. It needs to be something that's taken seriously. It's also a decision that needs to be made as an adult, because statistically speaking, this is just numbers, you're much more likely to be happy with the decision and not feel regret if you make the choice as an adult. So as with most things trans, frustratingly enough, it is hard to find concrete statistics, but what we do know is that the rate of detransition, transition regret among adults is relatively low. It's around 2%. So most people who make that decision as an adult end up being happy with it, they don't regret it, and they don't seek reversal surgeries. Also, what we know is that statistically, the younger you make that decision, as in if you're a child when you make it, you're more likely to regret it. The number of kids who end up regretting transition and identifying with their birth sex is around 60 to 90% depending on which study you go to. It's almost like no one really knows who they are at the age of 12. It's almost as if there are adults who regret altering their body, so there's definitely children who end up regretting it. I mean, hell, I got 2 tattoos at age 18 and regret both of them. So, this whole topic has really had me thinking about what I would look like at age 24 if I hadn't transitioned. So we're gonna use this little app called Face App, not sponsored, although I wish. Oh, I look like shit. I kind of look like a serial killer. I kind of look like my boyfriend. Joseph! Come look at this.
Look at what? Babe, stop doing things like this.
The fact is, the choice to transition is one that affects the rest of your life, every area of your life, and in ways that you can't even anticipate or really plan for. There are some people who treat it as a fad, as a political statement, and glamorize and sensationalize it, but that's not real life. Now, just for a little personal story to throw into this, I once knew a person who was transitioning from male to female. This person was a couple years younger than me, and this person was an online friend. I was kind of acting as a mentor to this person who was struggling with being trans, struggling with transition, and because I had already started, I kind of was informing them on what to expect, how to deal with it, and just being sort of a guide on the roadmap to being trans for this person. Now, after about a few months of trying to help this person with their transition, they went dark. They stopped talking to me. They completely fell off the face of the earth. And then about a year later, I got a message from them saying that they appreciate all the help that I gave them at the time, but they're no longer transitioning and they realized they just want to be a boy. And I was so shocked by that. So obviously I asked him, why the cold feet? You seemed so sure. It seemed like this was something that you really needed and wanted to do. And he basically said that he got caught up in sort of like the glamorous side of it, watching trans celebrities on YouTube, watching YouTubers, and looking at me and my transition, thinking that it must be easy, it must be glamorous, it must be fun. That is the absolute wrong mindset. So he was now detransitioning and, like the other person, dealing with breast growth and erectile dysfunction. Word of caution, don't play with your life. Don't play with your body. Don't play with your future. And all of that to say, for some people, it's the absolute right decision. For me, it was the right decision. I'm extremely happy. Transition opened up my life in so many ways, and it just made sense. But you have to be sure. And when I say sure, I mean some real deep soul searching type of sure, some real therapy type of sure. So I know when I come on YouTube and when I'm doing all my antics online, it seems very much like, very happy and frilly and easy, but the road to get here was not that. So if that's the case for anyone out there, I'm here to correct you and let you know that it's not easy. Does this look fun to you? I feel like I'm on Scared Straight or something. And that's about all I got for this topic, you guys. Peace out until next time. But just so you guys know, I will be sticking to a very strict uploading schedule for 2018. I'll be uploading once a week, if not more, every single week. That's my resolution for the new year, and I intend to keep it. And I'm asking you guys to hold me to that. If I mess up, scream at me, harass me, bombard me with comments and messages, and make me feel terrible about it. Really though, 2018 is gonna be amazing. Love you. YouTube recently demonetized all of my videos. If you'd like to support this channel, fight YouTube censorship, and keep the videos coming, please consider pledging on patreon.com/BlaireWhite.